realize Albert Einstein believed in manifestation? And while this little-known secret has been buried for decades, a stunning breakthrough by one of Einstein's descendants is changing the course of human history by finally connecting the dots so that anyone can manifest unlimited wealth and abundance with ease. Oddly enough, the answer involves an ancient Indian manuscript, dinosaurs, and something called quantum entanglement. More on that in just a minute. But I just want to make one thing clear right now. This has nothing to do with the law of attraction, special brain waves, or some silly school. Instead, this uses the law of physics to confirm what ancient Eastern leaders have known for centuries, that our third eye can see wealth. All you have to do is jumpstart your ability to see the wealth that's all around you. And while that might sound a little woo-woo, this short video will reveal how Albert Einstein and his descendants have proven this work. If you've ever wondered how quantum science and the law of physics intertwine with the supernatural, make sure you watch this all the way to the end right now, because for the first time in human history, there is a clear and rational explanation. And it's the key to making you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Einstein's biggest regret was never figuring out how to harness this power, and it took his descendants several more decades to crack the code. Which means right now is the best time in history to be alive, if you use the secret I'm about to reveal in this short video. The good news is you don't have to be anybody special to use this secret. It works for anyone and everyone. And while I get why you might be a little skeptical at this point, in just a minute, you'll see for yourself how the laws of physics and quantum science are proving what Eastern spiritual leaders have known for centuries, that we all possess the ability to attract wealth and abundance without even having to think about it. More on that in just a minute. But first, let me tell you how this all came about. Hi, my name is Roger Polson. And while I've accidentally stumbled across a breakthrough that will change the course of human history, I'm really nobody special. In fact, most people consider me a loser most of my life, always struggling to pay the rent for my rundown apartment in Queens, New York, divorced twice, and for the most part, my two sons, Jack and Polly, wanted nothing to do with me. I've struggled with overwhelming depression, a soul-crushing amount of debt, and even survived a suicide attempt. And despite all that, the universe chose me to deliver this life-changing message to you. Now, I'm hoping your life story doesn't look anything like mine did, but the more I hear from folks across the country and across the globe, the more I realize people are struggling. So chances are you can relate at least a little bit, but by the end of this short video, that hopelessness and frustration will turn into unbridled enthusiasm. It all started when the gentle hand of the universe guided me to the most unlikely of people, one of Albert Einstein's descendants. Funny part is, this happened on one of the worst days of my life. My elderly mother called me up that morning and said she couldn't afford her cystic fibrosis medication for the upcoming month. It was pretty pricey, and I was flat broke. I worked as much as I could delivering Uber Eats, but it wasn't enough to cover my living expenses and my mom's medication. I checked the calendar. She had 13 days left on her current supply, which meant I had less than 2 weeks to come up with an extra $3,374.85. It was devastating because I couldn't imagine coming up with that kind of cash that quickly. My credit cards were all maxed out and I had nowhere to turn. Maybe you've been in a similar situation, I don't know. But it seemed hopeless until one fateful Uber ride. You see, I usually only deliver Uber Eats, food, on my bicycle in the city. But since I needed to make a ton of money real quick, I decided to drive Uber passengers too. My first ride was all the way to Princeton, New Jersey from New York City, a solid 2-hour ride. While that seemed a little absurd to me, it also came with a huge fare, and I really needed the money. Next thing I knew, I was en route to Princeton, New Jersey with my first ever Uber passenger. At the time, I had no idea this car ride would change the trajectory of my life. But the universe knows what it's doing. After we got to chatting, I learned my passenger was a scientist of sorts. She was in town to access a high-end recording studio, so I figured she must be in the music biz. But as it turns out, this woman was a direct descendant of Albert Einstein. Crazy part is, no one really knows she exists because her grandparents made it a point to keep their privacy. We'll call her Brenda, not her real name. And there was something about Brenda, something that made it easy to talk to her. And before I knew, I was spilling my guts about my mom's race against time, and how I didn't think there was any way I'd get the $3,374.85 in time. I felt my hands trembling as I gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white, and I actually thought I was gonna vomit. That's when Brenda looked up with tears welling up in her eyes. "I have something to share with you," she said. And while we'd just met, Brenda said she was going to share a secret no one knew about, a secret that would change the course of human history if it didn't fall into the wrong hands. Turns out, it all revolved around a secret document called the Quantum Manuscript. You see, the Quantum Manuscript is actually an ancient Indian manuscript containing formulas that describe the quantum nature of the universe in a language that predates Sanskrit, which is pretty damn wild when you think about it. Brenda told me her great-grandfather, Albert Einstein, got his hands on it back in 1905, which is how he came up with his famous theories. Because the truth is, he didn't come up with these theories all on his own. He'd gotten his hands on the Quantum Manuscript early that year after a secret meeting with the US military. You see, the United States had recently uncovered the Quantum Manuscript during a secret military campaign in India in 1904. But they still needed someone with Einstein's IQ and knowledge of science to figure it out. So while Albert Einstein was a pretty smart dude, he claimed scientific theories that he actually got from the Quantum Manuscript. The most important being the part on quantum entanglement. You see, Einstein suspected if you could apply quantum entanglement to your brain, it would create something he called quantum attraction, which is his scientific term for manifestation. But here's the thing. Although he knew it was theoretically possible, Albert Einstein himself wasn't able to figure out how to apply quantum entanglement to our brains. So he passed on his secret knowledge to one of his sons. And well, nothing really happened with it. It continued to be passed down the generations with no real breakthrough, until a recent breakthrough at Princeton University, which just happens to be where Einstein worked for 22 years when he migrated to the US. And when Brenda caught wind of this, everything changed. Because after generations of efforts from Einstein and his descendants, she'd finally broken the code. At this point, I gazed back at Brenda in the rearview mirror and said, "My goodness, that sounds like it'd be the most complex process I could possibly imagine." "Well," she said slowly, "then this next part is really going to blow you away." Then she told me the secret that would change my life forever, and will do the same for you if you watch all the way to the end right now. So here's the thing. By now, most of us have heard about the mysterious third eye that we all supposedly possess. Well, recent studies are proving that we do in fact have a third eye. Modern scientists call it our pineal gland. If you've seen anything from Dr. Joe Dispenza or been on YouTube much lately, this will sound familiar. Pineal glands are suddenly a hot topic, and it seems like everyone is talking about them. But their efforts to actually use our pineal gland, third eye, always reached a dead end. Until now. Because here's the important part. Right now, at this very moment, you have the ability to use your third eye to manifest, attract unlimited wealth and abundance. This is something ancient Eastern spiritual leaders have known for centuries, and a few underground modern scientists have recently proven this to be true. Hence all the obsession about our pineal gland, aka our third eye. Here's how it works. It all revolves around something called quantum entanglement and modern-day dinosaurs, which, as you may already know, are birds. Crazy thing is, you've actually seen quantum entanglement in action. We've all seen flocks of birds migrating south for the winter. Ever wonder how they do that? Well, birds navigate using the Earth's magnetic field. This is possible because of quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is so impactful that recent studies have won mainstream scientists the coveted Nobel Prize as recently as 2022. You see, quantum entanglement is what allows birds to effectively see the Earth's magnetic field, which is what guides them during their annual migration. For example, golden plovers, which are birds who migrate between Alaska and Hawaii, or monarch butterflies who migrate over 3,000 miles to Mexico. Pretty crazy, huh? Well, this quantum entanglement is the key to you seeing the wealth all around you. This is what ancient Eastern spiritual leaders meant when they talked about our third eye. I'm not here to give you a science lesson, but I can give you a brief overview of quantum entanglement in just 30 seconds, since this is the key to manifesting limitless wealth. Imagine you have two magic marbles. You play a game where whatever you do with one marble, the other marble does the same thing, even if it's very far away. So, you tap one marble and it lights up. The other marble lights up at the same time, even if it's in a friend's house across town. These marbles are special because they share a secret connection that doesn't care about distance. It's like they have an invisible string between them that lets them talk to each other instantly. This magical connection is what scientists call quantum entanglement. In the real world, scientists have found tiny particles that act just like these magic marbles. When these particles become entangled, it means they are scientifically linked together in a special way. If you change something about one particle, the other one changes in the same way immediately, no matter how far apart they are. This leads to what Einstein famously referred to as spooky action at a distance, where a measurement on one entangled particle seems to instantaneously mirror the state of its partner regardless of the distance separating them. Again, this is how birds migrate to a place thousands of miles away, and it's also how the deepest part of your brain sees and attracts wealth. The deepest part of your brain being your pineal gland, or what the ancients referred to as our third eye. Since this works in the deepest part of your brain, your subconscious automatically uses quantum entanglement to manifest your internal desires from the universe. It's what Albert Einstein secretly called quantum attraction, which means you don't think or try to attract anything at all, despite what the LOA gurus tell you. Once you kick off quantum attraction in your pineal gland, your subconscious and third eye do all the work for you, making manifesting wealth and abundance effortless. So by now, you're probably wondering, how do I start quantum attraction in my pineal gland? Well, there's just one problem. Your pineal gland, third eye, isn't working right now. Reason is, all the radio waves, television waves, cell phone waves, Wi-Fi, and now 5G have scrambled our pineal gland, third eye. So it's impossible to see the path to wealth because we can't enter quantum attraction mode. It's been this way for generations, and it's part of the reason for the disappearance of the middle class. This actually stumped Albert Einstein and his kids for decades, until Brenda stumbled across something completely by accident. Crazy part is, it's not a high-tech solution like I would have thought. Instead, it's an ingenious, simple solution driven by the law of physics. A solution that was inspired by a remedy thousands of years old. It goes all the way back to ancient India. You see, the Vedas, ancient sacred texts of India, mention music's therapeutic value, and it describes how chants and mantras can have healing effects. Thing is, no one knew why these chants were therapeutic until Brenda put two and two together and realized it was the physical vibrations that made this music effective, which made her wonder, what if the physical vibrations could be applied directly to our pineal gland, third eye? Could that jumpstart it so it's capable of quantum attraction, aka manifesting wealth and abundance for us? Well, that's exactly what Brenda suspected, which is how this whole breakthrough came about, because she's proven you can jumpstart your pineal gland, third eye, so that it does what it was designed to do. Create quantum attraction, automatically manifesting limitless wealth and abundance directly from the universe. There are a couple caveats though. First thing is, these sound waves have a very specific frequency. Not just any sound wave will create the physical vibrations required to do the trick. Secondly, you have to get these sound wave frequencies to reach the middle of your skull, where your pineal gland is located. At first, I wondered how on earth this would even be possible. But Brenda explained how modern technology combined with ancient remedies could make it simple as pie. She explained the real reason she was in New York is that she had the exact frequency required for quantum attraction, made into a digital audio track at the best recording studio in America. And she figured out the best way to apply these sound waves to the center of our skull, where our pineal gland is located, was with common earbuds or headphones that everyone has these days. And since she'd just gotten the digital audio tracks that day, maybe we could both try listening to them as soon as that night. I could hardly contain my excitement. When I got to Brenda's house in Princeton, New Jersey, she made me a copy of the digital audio track and I downloaded it on my iPhone. It was 10 minutes long and she told me all I had to do was hit play, sit back, and listen. She gave me her number and we agreed to circle back in a few days to see if anything happened. So from that point on, I listened to the audio track on repeat. And well, the next 3 days went absolutely terrible. I had a drunk Uber passenger puke in my back seat the next day. The day after that, I was T-boned at an intersection, totaling my car. And finally, I was notified of a lawsuit about a hit and run I was never involved in. At that point, I had serious questions. Was Brenda really even a descendant of Albert Einstein? Was anything she said even true? I was so enchanted about what she was saying, I didn't even consider she might just be a crazy old lady. When we chatted on the phone later that night, I was kinda rude and overly aggressive, which now I regret. I told her I thought the whole thing was BS and I was over it. After listening patiently and calmly, Brenda said she understood, then explained that she'd made a mistake on her calculation. As it turns out, in order to make the quantum attraction work, she had to cut the frequency in half and play it in two separate parts. So half of the frequency would play in one ear and the other half would play in the other. And while I was pretty skeptical, she assured me she'd gone through her equation and discovered her mistake, and once the new digital audio track arrived, they would theoretically work, creating quantum attraction in our pineal gland's third eye. So a few days later, I tried again, and well, the experience was different. I felt a unique energy in my skull while listening to the 10-minute audio track, and then things started happening. First, I found $100 on the sidewalk while delivering some noodles. No big deal, right? That could happen to anybody. But when I got home later that day, I had a letter waiting for me. It was a check from the IRS for $4,638.92. Turns out, I'd made a mistake filing my taxes and I was owed a refund, which was more than enough to cover my mom's cystic fibrosis medication. The next morning, I got a call from my attorney. Apparently, the judge in the hit-and-run lawsuit found out the guy suing me was committing fraud and awarded me a $73,500 reverse settlement. While I was still collecting my thoughts, it hit me. Brenda had cracked the code. Clearly, I jump-started quantum attraction in my pineal gland. And when I talked to Brenda later that day, she confirmed the same type of things were happening to her. Clearly, our third eye was now able to see wealth and abundance and attraction thanks to the principles of quantum attraction. So the only question at that point was, what now? Brenda suggested we try it out on a few more people just to see what happens. I suggested it to my 81-year-old mother. And in just a matter of days, money and abundance started pouring into her just like it was for me and Brenda. Not only do I not have to pay for her expensive meds anymore, but my mom now lives in a penthouse overlooking Central Park after living in a studio apartment her entire life. After trying it out on a couple other friends and family, it's safe to say Brenda figured out how to jumpstart our pineal glands, creating quantum attraction. But instead of hiding this information from the public, we decided to do the exact opposite and share it with people who might use these manifestation powers for good. So you watching this video right now is a good sign. So I'm thrilled to introduce the Quantum Attraction Code to you right now. It's the only program in the universe that jumpstarts quantum attraction in your pineal gland, which means you'll automatically manifest wealth and abundance into your life without even trying, attracting wealth and abundance into your life like clockwork, which is pretty refreshing to hear for me personally. I don't know about you, but knowing the power sits inside of us already was more in line with what I always felt in my gut. It always seemed weird to me to have to chase money. It just always felt so unnatural, almost icky even. And don't even get me started on the law of attraction stuff. Trying to attract wealth just by thinking about it? I mean, come on. Besides, none of that stuff actually worked for me anyway. And I'm guessing it didn't work for you either, since you're here watching this video. But the good news is, the truth about attracting wealth and abundance into your life is so much easier, because it's actually effortless. And the crazy part is, there's no limit to the amount of wealth you can manifest, because the universe has a never-ending amount of abundance to share with us. And even though I now realize this fact, I still have a hard time wrapping my head around just how much wealth and abundance is flooding into people's lives after using the quantum attraction code for just 10 minutes a day, like Samantha, who said, "Exploring the wonders of nature's gifts always intrigued me, but the outcome was beyond my wildest dreams. Not long ago, I was checking out groceries, living in a modest mobile home community. Now, I've just signed the papers for my dream house overlooking the Lake of the Ozarks. Deciding to give the quantum attraction code a try turned out to be the most transformative decision of my life." Samantha R., Kansas City, Missouri. Then there's Ethan's story. Being raised in a working-class family, I was convinced that relentless labor was the only path to wealth. However, the quantum attraction code has truly enlightened me to a new perspective. And honestly, it's incredibly comforting to understand that wealth and prosperity are just within our reach, ready for us to embrace. I regret not finding the truth sooner. Ethan B., Charleston, South Carolina. And I just love Mary's journey. As a single parent, my job consumed all my time, leaving me no moments to spend with my daughter. That was until I came across a presentation on the quantum attraction code. Nowadays, I chauffeur my daughter to the city's finest private school in our shiny new SUV. Now that I've retired, every moment is spent creating joyful memories with her. Embarking on this journey has significantly altered our lives for the better. We're endlessly grateful. Maria V., Medford, Oregon. I love sharing these success stories. But right about now, there's always someone who stops me and says, okay, this sounds great, but how do you actually use the quantum attraction code? And I'm always happy to cover this as many times as needed because it's really just so simple. All you do is put in a set of earbuds or headphones, press play on the digital audio track, and listen to the audio frequencies for 10 minutes each day. That's it. The quantum attraction code does all the work for you, making your quantum attraction truly effortless. We are so fortunate that we are around for this groundbreaking moment in human history. But I have to warn you about one thing right now. There are a handful of billionaires out there who are tracking your every move. You see, they've had a stranglehold on the world's wealth for a long time, and they want to keep it that way. Obviously, the quantum attraction code puts them at risk of losing that stranglehold. So it's my duty to inform you that there are some powerful 1%ers trying to crash this website right now. I say that because this website is the only place you can get the quantum attraction code. And if the hackers they hired are successful, the opportunity to get your copy of the quantum attraction code will be gone forever. And what a shame it would be if you were this close. But you let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip through your fingers. So I urge you to take action while you're on this website right now while it still exists. Plus, now that I know the truth, I've made it my personal mission to spread the word to as many people as possible. I know what it's like to have your back up against the wall. I know what it feels like to work your whole life and still not have enough to get by. I mean, I almost had to watch my own mother die because I simply didn't have enough money. I don't want anyone to ever have to go through that. And now that I know the truth, I feel it's my duty to humankind to spread this as wide and far as possible. I truly believe this is why I was put on this earth. Which brings me to my last point, because there are people out there who have privately urged me to charge upwards of $4,000 for this. And truth is, I know I could get away with charging that much. After all, just look at how much you'll make from this. But most people I want to help don't have a lot of extra cash lying around. So I would never consider charging anywhere near that. Besides, this isn't something I'm doing for profit. This is all about my legacy. I've already got more money than I could ever spend. So what's the point of derailing my mission just to make a few more bucks? In fact, since the hackers are getting closer and closer to shutting this website down for good, I've decided I'm not going to even charge the $250 I normally do. Instead, all I ask is you pitch in a mere $37 to help cover the costs of running this website. I do have a couple employees I have to pay, so I have to charge a little bit. But even still, it's less than most folks spend on coffee in a week. All you have to do to claim this exclusive discount is click the button that appeared below this video. When you do, you'll be taken to a 100% safe and secure checkout page. There, you'll enter your order info and hit submit. Then an email will arrive in about 10 minutes with access to your very own digital copy of the quantum attraction code. But since time is short, I want to reward you for taking action on the most important decision of your life. So I decided to throw in a few free gifts when you place your order today. Bonus number 1, instant comm code, $97 value. Let's face it, anxiety in today's modern world is just accepted as common. But it doesn't have to be this way. I've discovered a sound wave frequency that can instantly calm your nervous system. I call it the instant comm code. Just pop your earbuds in anytime you're feeling anxious, and this audio track will take you down to where you need to be in a matter of minutes. Bonus number 2, sleep on command, $76 value. Nothing can ruin your day like a bad night's sleep. Tossing and turning all night just to wake up feeling groggy. It's the worst, am I right? That's why I set out to find a sound wave frequency that will put you to sleep on command, hence the name. Bonus number 3, Confidence Titan, $129 value. While you may think wealth might automatically bring more confidence, you're probably mistaken. Many of the folks I talk to tell me they still wish they felt more confident in their newfound world, suffering from imposter syndrome, if you will, which is the reason I created Confidence Titan. It's a sound wave frequency that automatically puts your brain into alpha state, which is exactly the state you're most confident in. Okay, so remember I'm giving you those 3 gifts free, $302 value, when you place your order on this website right now, which is seriously a no-brainer offer if I've ever seen one. But I'm taking this a step further. Because one thing I noticed from the thousands of success stories I've received is that many of the folks who are now rich beyond their wildest dreams were extremely skeptical at first, but went ahead and took the chance anyway, only to have an experience that exceeded even their wildest expectations. But it made me wonder, how many people missed out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity just because they were a little skeptical? So here's what I decided to do to sweeten the deal even more. I'm backing your purchase with a 100% 60-day money-back guarantee, which means you get 2 months to take the Quantum Attraction Code on a test drive. If you don't love your experience after using the Quantum Attraction Code, I'll refund you every penny, no questions asked. I'm shouldering all the risk here to make this an easy decision for you right now. It's important because there isn't much time left, and I don't want you to miss out because you weren't sure. So I'm removing that roadblock now to give you the peace of mind you need to take action. Go ahead and click the button below to claim your own personal copy with zero risk on your part. Right now is a defining moment in your life. There are 2 paths that lie in front of you at this moment, and you have a choice to make. You can choose the first path, which is the path you've been on your whole life. But if you stay on that path, nothing is going to change. And for the first time in your life, you have another option. So knowing what you know now, why would you choose to stay on that path? If you're someone who truly wants a better life for you and your family, you'll choose the second path. And truth is, you've already made that decision, or you wouldn't have watched this far. So let's take the secret info I shared with you today about how you'll manifest unlimited wealth and abundance into your life on autopilot and make this a reality for you. But again, I must warn you, don't leave this page until you've secured your very own personal copy of the Quantum Attraction Code, because there's a good chance it won't be here another day. So click that button below and start your life transformation today. Your future self will be glad you did. Still here, I see. I don't blame you. We covered a ton in this video, and I understand you might have some questions. So I'm going to take the liberty to answer some of the most commonly asked questions that we get. How soon should I expect results? Well, every person is different, so the answer isn't the same for everybody. Some have experienced massive results as soon as the first day. Others have taken weeks to jumpstart their pineal gland for quantum attraction. I recommend using it every day for a full month before getting too worried about it. I've tried other manifestation programs based on the law of attraction. They didn't work. What makes this one any different? This is not based on the law of attraction. This is a scientifically proven method that jumpstarts your pineal gland, all thanks to quantum attraction. And in the end, science is just proving what Eastern spiritual leaders have known for years, although now you don't have to learn any complex dance rituals. How is my personal information protected? We hired some of the best encryption experts on the planet to protect your information. These folks used to work for the FBI, and they use 256-bit encryption technologies using Secure Sockets Layer (SSL), which means your info is 100% secure, backed by the best technology available right now. How does the money-back guarantee work? When you say yes to the Quantum Attraction Code today, you are doing so 100% risk-free, because I'm giving you 2 months to decide if you're happy with your results or not. If at any time in the next 60 days you feel that your life has not improved drastically, simply email or telephone my support team and we'll refund 100% of your investment on the spot. Can I buy this on Amazon later if I decide I want the Quantum Attraction Code at some point down the road? No. This website you're on right now is the only place you can get the Quantum Attraction Code. And even this lone page will not be here much longer. In fact, I expect it to be shut down as soon as tonight. So if you even think you're interested, you should click the button below and secure your copy now. Besides, it's 100% risk-free with the 60-day money-back guarantee that backs your purchase.